Hey everyone, back with another video. It's around 5-ish, I believe. No, maybe 4. Who knows what time it is? I lose track of time. Seriously. But, I just finished one of my projects and I'm getting ready to watch a movie. I was recommended, someone recommended a movie called Baghdad Cafe, and it's a very old movie. It's about, 1987, and somehow I must have missed it. So I never got a chance to watch this movie, and I watched the trailer of it on YouTube, and I thought, you know what, it's worth the $2.99, so I'm going to kick back and make some snacks and enjoy a movie for the afternoon. But I just kind of wanted to show you what I've been up to in the last, I would say, day or so. This project didn't take me very long, actually. It only took me like about, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. I made a new cosmetic bag, and it is, you're probably laughing because it's made of felt, okay? Right now, I don't really have a lot of money to go to the fabric store. I was going to make one out of canvas, a pink canvas that I had left over, but I decided not to do that and use the felt instead. And so this is my little design on it, and then I decided to put some lining in it. I just had to use what I had on hand. I have a bunch of zippers, in my sewing supplies, so I decided, just to kind of make do. And I don't really mind doing that. It actually allows me to use up some of my supplies, and gives me something to do. And really, there's certain things I don't need to buy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to buy, I don't know, like book covers, or I don't need to buy certain handbags, okay? I usually use a tote bag. I mean, I do have, like, all my purses right now are unfortunately over at the old house. So I have to go get those boxes. But I usually just use tote bags. I usually make them out of canvas, and I use them for a very long time. The one I use right now, I think I've probably had for about 4 years, which, I would say that it's pretty durable. But, there's certain things I like to make, I like making tote bags. I like making little, like, coin purses. I like making cosmetic bags. I like making slippers is a fun thing, I enjoy making slippers, and I make them, to fit, the feet exactly, which is great. It's a lot of fun to do those. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoy making things, but I would never want to do it for a living, But it is kind of fun, putting things online so people can, like, see it, give me feedback on it, because I see a lot of stuff, like, on Etsy and on Pinterest, I guess they're not the same, but, what I'm talking about. People who put their crafts on these websites. And, I would say that compared to a lot of the things I've seen, I would say that I'm an amateur, okay? Because I've seen some things like, just amazing. And I would say that most of my things that I make are very basic. I like a lot of the, flower shapes, heart shapes, things that are easy for me to work with, okay? I've seen some people do a lot of really good stuff with it. Sometimes I go to the secondhand store and then modify things. I did go to the dollar store a while ago, and and this right here was like this canvas. Well, I mean, it's not really canvas. I don't know what you call this material. I do, but I can't think of it right now. Anyway, I put this little applique on here with a ladybug and stuff, and it wasn't lined, so I just went ahead and lined the inside of it, and it just kind of, it's just, sometimes I look at things and I'm like, maybe it would be better if I had lining in it, or something like that, and then I kind of make it more personalized, So anyway, I was thinking today about, this big scandal that's going on, and it is a scandal, it really is. But I'm not the kind of person that likes to hurt people. I don't, you know what I mean? And considering a lot of the hurt that these people put on me, I feel as though I have every right to feel the inner rage that I feel. But to me, there's something inside me saying, don't even focus on that. Don't focus on it. Just move on from it. Don't give it any thought. They'll get their just desserts eventually, whether that be in this life or the next. So I have to get myself together and focus myself on what I need to be doing, okay? What I need to be doing is I need to be looking for a goddamn job. That's what I need to be doing more than anything right now. I shouldn't be wasting another minute, being frustrated and agitated over this issue. But at the same time, it's a big unwind, okay? It's a big unwind because of the longest time I felt as though there was like this tightening in my head. Like when I'm very sensitive, and I'm an intuitive person, and when all this confusion is going on, it affects your body. Some people get headaches for no reason, and a lot of times it's because you're dealing with a lot of hatred. I know it's a very strange thing. You might want to look it up, okay? But because there's so many people involved and so many issues involved, and everything was so confusing, I literally felt like there was this like knot in my head, and it couldn't unravel. You know what I mean? And little by little, it started to unravel, and I figured it out. And it's based on concrete shit. That's the thing, okay? Because there's a paper trail, and there's evidence of it. And so when you start really thinking about it, it all unfolds nice, and but I still can't really understand why some people got involved in it. I think it has a lot to do with the religious part of it. Some people thought they were doing the right thing, and so I'm hoping that this will be a lesson for people to learn. Next time, don't be so fooled. That's the oldest trick in the book, people. It really is. People have been using that excuse for a very long time. And like I said earlier, I do feel bad for Joel. I do. I feel very bad for him because he really got a bad deal in his situation, okay? But yet it's not my problem. You know what I mean? I need to move on and think about my life now. And I really do. I will pray for him, and I'm hoping that things work out for him. But I can't. I don't want to be part of this bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not my shit, and I don't want to deal with it. I've been dealing with a lot of stress over this issue for the longest time, and he knew what was going on, and he just sat there and didn't say anything. So because of that, whether he's a Manchurian candidate or not, then that's not really my problem. You know what I mean? But I feel bad for the quality of life that he has to live because of it. But what can you do? There's so many people who are struggling, with all kinds of abuse in the world, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a lesson for so many reasons. Like, next time you see a woman who's all by herself and people are gossiping about her, maybe people will start thinking, maybe she's got reasons for that. Maybe she's, a person who's on her own for a reason. Because, some people have to be very cautious and very careful about who they interact with. And when you're a woman all by yourself, you got to be that way, okay? People always, expect people to just like jump into relationships and all this other crazy stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of abuse out there. You know what I mean? And I'm very much aware of that. So don't try to put pressure on women. Women have it hard enough as it is. I mean, I'm going to tell you what, women are, and I'm not just talking about minority women, but believe me, minority women, we get our share. But just women in general. I mean, like, women just get trampled over anytime that people feel like it. You know what I mean? They just assume, she'll marry a guy who's got money or whatever, and they get shortchanged, and a lot of their dreams and their goals, and it's wrong. It's wrong, and I know I've seen it. I've seen it, and I've experienced it, and it not just myself. I've seen it with other women as well, and a lot of women are scared. They're all by themselves, and they don't need to be, affected by this. I will say that Joel's family made the town look really bad. You know what I mean? That his family really is the epitome of ignorance and stupidity. And if I was somebody from this town, I would be, I don't know, I would be upset that somebody would manipulate people through religious means, because that is just like, don't bring God into bullshit. I mean, don't do that. And that's like the lowest thing that you can do. And then you get people who are naive. People who, some people really sincerely believe that they're serving God when they get involved in this stuff. They think they're like, oh, this is tough love or some bullshit like that, okay? And they don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. They just feel like, well, this is a church-related thing, so I'm going to go along with it. And for those people, I mean, I do understand how you can get sucked up in that stuff. I really do. You know what I mean? But this is a lesson to be learned for everybody, you know? And unfortunately, you know, this kind of stuff goes on, but I'm hoping that, you know, slowly but surely people are going to wake up and start asking a little bit more questions about why they tend to persecute people for stupid things, you know, for very stupid things. And, you know, I don't feel bad about any of it. I mean, you can't make me feel bad about any of it. You can't. You know what I mean? Because I just think it was really stupid. You know, I feel sorry for Joel. I do. I feel very sorry for this guy. But, you know, because, you know, it's unfortunate that he got adopted from that family. It's very unfortunate, you know. And I feel sorry for a lot of adopted children. And well, some biological children as well, you know. It's a very sad world we live in. It really is. It's very sad. There's a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of brainwashing, you know. But anyway, I'm going to, it's getting a little cooler in here. It's like 109 today. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean, usually here in Bakersfield, it doesn't cool down to like for about another month or so. Usually mid-October, it starts to cool down. August is usually very, very hot, you know what I mean? And I'm doing the best I can to use, you know, the proper air conditioning methods. You know, I got my fans going, and I got my 2 air conditioners going. When it hits 100, I turn off the main air conditioner because it's not going to do me any good. But the minute it drops to like 99 degrees, which is usually in the evening, I switch it back on, and I usually have that little air conditioners going on for just a little bit longer until I feel like the house is adequately cooled down, and then I, you know, switch to the main air conditioning unit. So I'm learning how to operate and work within this structure, this little house structure, okay? You know, I've used to central heating and air, you know what I mean? And that, I would say, has always been a convenience. And so sometimes, you know, you have to, you know, deal with things that you're not used to. And this is one of those things I'm not used to. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will be back with another one some other time. Have a great day. Bye.